All right, here we go. We're going to be reviewing the market for today. Today was November 17th, 2025. It's 5:41 p.m. We are going to jump right into it. Yeah. About to lock in here in just 1 second. But hopefully you guys are all doing good. I'm trying to be more consistent with everything. Gonna make a market recap today. So, yeah. Yep, just gonna be more consistent here. So, maybe I'll listen to music. I don't know. But guys, we got a lot to talk about. This new week opening gap with previous week's high S&T was way stronger than I anticipated, and it can't go without being reviewed. So we got to take a look at this. This is the shadow model, right, guys? You guys remember me talk about this? Basically, anytime you get a change in state out of a new week opening gap, that is going to be very sensitive, right? So here's the new week opening gap here. New week opening gap. We actually have previous week's high S&T. Right there. And then we have a 1 hour change in state. What up, Cave? How's it going, bro? So guys, I should not have underestimated the shadow model, and I didn't, right? Because I took the trade. I ended up going break even when I took it, and well, I didn't take this trade, but I took a lower time frame entry, and it ended up break evening me. But I think if I didn't go break even, it would have actually gone and hit all TPs. So that's okay though. We are going to be reviewing this. We're going to learn from it. So once again, this is a time-based S&T. This is a previous week's high S&T. Now, let's see. There it is. So at the time, we had a very temporary S&T with YM right here. And I thought that maybe this would be case for us to reverse back up. Now that did not hold, so we're gonna try and see why this S&T actually did not hold. Big part of me thinks, once again, this is the true month open right here. So the top of the NWOG is also true month open, and so you can see how using true opens we can identify where's the high probability manipulation for any given range of time. So true month open right here. And then we went lower off of this. Maybe let's just get this out of the way here. Or maybe let's mark it out like this. But you're starting to get at what I'm saying, right? This is a shadow model. What's a shadow model? When you have a new week opening gap or a new day opening gap, and then we get change in state out of it. It's a very simple model, right? But check this out, right? 1 hour change in state out of it. We actually had a beautiful S&T here. Once again, the aligned time frame with new week opening gaps and new day opening gaps is kind of based off of context and how big they are. My guess is we go 4 projections of this. What do you know? We actually go 2 projections and then 4 projections perfectly. So like, had I had the bias correct, you can see how simple of a trade this is, right? High time frame, down 4 projections from the new week opening gap. This is my shadow model. This is very simple. This is very, very simple, right? New week opening gap, 1 hour change in state with the liquidity sweep. The important part was having the drawn liquidity correct. And yeah, that's not necessarily easy, but we did want to go lower here. So we're going to try and figure out why. But first we're going to mark out this was shadow model. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here, short position, entry on that retest of that change in state. Stop at the high there, down 4 projections. And I did note this. I noticed this as it was happening. But the problem is, I think we weren't at the entry point when this happened. We were all the way down here, and so I just kind of knew, like, I obviously couldn't just enter a trade late, right? So you kind of just have to make do with what you had. So I had to go to the low time frame to see if I could find something. But as always, if I could just be on the charts at this exact time, it's like, oh, well, then that'd make things really easy, right? So screenshotting this, very simple idea here. This is my shadow model. For those who don't know, it's basically CASD off an NDOG or NWOG aligned, and then aligned time frame depends on context. Like how big is the NWOG, how big is the NDOG? Okay, so there we go. Once again, I feel like this is a pretty simple trade, and I did note it, but once again, it's not easy to spot in live time. I mean, it's not. You have to be on the charts at that exact time. That's the main issue. All right. So shadow model with an NWOG here. At 6 o'clock. Today was Monday, right? 6 o'clock. Shadow. And then the way I notate it is, I do NWOG and then 1 hour, like that. Okay. So yeah, the drawn liquidity was just lower here. So nice little market maker sell model. You probably also had its own PD array here. It was a 4-hour bearish for value gap. Right? You see this? So 4-hour bearish for value gap. Now, this is interesting because it's not in premium. It looks like it's in discount, but let's just measure this out. I stand corrected. It is very much in premium. That is very much in premium. Like, undeniably, perfectly in premium, actually. I stand very much corrected. Dude, look at the new week opening gap. Look at how it's perfectly in premium there of that whole leg. That's really, really fascinating. So 4-hour premium for value gap. So we could do the same exact thing on the 15-minute. And yeah, you get the same thing that happened on that other trade. So 4-hour premium for value gap, 15-minute change in state. So we'll mark this out as well. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, honestly. But does that mean it's easy to take? No, it does not. But this might actually be different from a projection standpoint. Actually, not really. No, we still end up going for projections. Dang, bro. So you could have entered like this. So inducement of this high above these equal highs. And the cool thing about this is this was above, I think it was above all the true opens, huh? Dang, bro. So 922. Yeah, we're above 730. We're above 730. We're above 922. We're above even the 22-minute true open. We were above. So this inducement occurs above all true opens. And then, by the way, remember how we souped this true open here? It's actually really beautiful, actually, how nice this ended up playing out. Okay, so, oh, whoops, that's not the one I wanted. I need to kind of consolidate my templates because I have a lot right now. So how could I have known the drawn liquidity was for sure going to be lower? Because I knew it was going to be lower, right? Right here, I knew we were going to continue lower, but I just didn't know how to align time and price correctly to get that. Now, clearly, we did end up testing that 15-minute change in state, which, we actually had S&T. Oh my gosh, wow. S&T here. Right? So do you guys see how nice of a market maker sell model this was? We have 4-hour premium for value gap, 15-minute change in state. Once again, guys, do you remember how I told you that we have midnight here? I don't want to draw it all out, but we have midnight here and then 1:30 here. So it's above. So this manipulation was above true month open, true day open, true session open. Once again, true week open, not really relevant because there was no true week open yet. So yeah, market maker sell model. It's just about as simple as it gets. So we're gonna just save this as a market maker sell model. Now, does that mean it was easy to see all this? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. So market maker sell model for today. So once again, how could you have taken this trade? Well, entry on the retest of that 15-minute, actually entry on the inducement of the highs above the 15-minute change in state. And when I enter on flow state inducement, sometimes since I'm entering on an inducement, I don't want to see it go much higher than that because I'm anticipating it to be inducement. So I think that would honestly be actually fine. Something like that would be fine. Because I'm basically saying I'm not anticipating us to go up much further past those highs above the change in state. If it's going to react here, it's just going to need to react right there. That's the whole idea. So flow state inducement. At 9:45, flow state inducement. I'll do flow state dash I. I need to make an updated video on flow state because I haven't. Honestly, the one I made a long time ago, I need to make a better one because I mean it's flow state is one of the most important parts of my trading, and I don't have a good video that explains it besides the old one, and that one's honestly not that good. So 4 hour aligning with the 15-minute. So something to note that I really like is when we get this placement like this, you know, it's creating a giant void. Oh, I wonder, you could maybe take this like this. So you could maybe project out the breaker. Yeah, and then we go 8 projections of the breaker. That's interesting, I guess. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how could we have known the drawn liquidity was for sure going to be lower? That's the next thing we're going to look at. How could we have known the drawn liquidity was likely to be lower? So let's clean up the chart a little bit here. Well, I think true opens were a big key, right? Let's actually get rid of everything. The new week opening gap was a big key. True opens were a big key. It is kind of crazy how weak this ended up being. Like, this was like it was so weak. It was so weak. It's interesting that's for sure. You know, and a big reason for why. Look at this, right? Massive liquidity pool here. So it wanted to get retapped. So that was a big reason why. I will say, like, in hindsight, you can definitely make the case for why that we wanted to retap that. This was a massive liquidity pool, and it just is too much of a center of gravity. I'm gonna make a new video on volume profile as well because I think that's very important, honestly. And I want to make a better one. So this was a big reason for why the market came back down into this spot and failed, is just because, yeah. Now if I measure this whole thing out here to here, yeah, same thing actually, same thing. We move from this. Where's the next draw on liquidity from this? Back down. So that's a big part of why. So, okay, what now? What do we look at next? Yeah, Actually, let's look at this whole range here. Maybe let's do some higher time frame analysis. So, you guys think it will come down to this? It's honestly possible. I mean, the way that we're getting this weakness could happen. And we just souped the true month open in the new week opening gap. So, I guess it wouldn't be that surprising. How does let's see how monthly stat map looks. It's just interesting thought. I'm kind of just going off a train of thought here of whatever I think. Oh, we're actually deep in monthly statistical discount. So that's something to consider. Deep in the max monthly statistical discount, and it's not even. It's not even like halfway through the month. So we're deep in statistical discount. And then, but for the week, the weekly manipulation level top ticked it. Yeah, for the week. Oh, wow. That weekly statistical manipulation level top ticked it. Someone was bearish and top ticked that, the weekly statistical manipulation level. But now we gotta go on the higher time frame. Let's look at 3 month, dude. I'm just getting interested. So, but when you look at it from a 3 month perspective, we're in we went deep in statistical premium. So it actually would make sense we could go to statistical discount. What about year? What about 6 month? Oh yeah, we're literally off the chart. We're so far in premium. My gosh. Yeah. So kind of makes sense. Once again, trading's not black and white. There's so many elements to it. There really is. I'm gonna talk about the dodgy IPG indicator in the new video. In the area in the market recap today. So I want to take a look at that because there was actually like 3 or 4 really good indicator alerts that it alerted, and it's just making me, I think it's time, maybe I should talk about it because look, right, we had the dodgy alert went off. I think, didn't TGR take that? Yeah, TGR just took that inversion. So, yeah. So I guess TGR took the obvious trade, which makes sense. Yeah, so this was it. So it was inverse to the upside, inverse to the downside. This indicator actually is not, it's not that bad, honestly. But, and then look, this caught this short. This caught this long. That one failed. So anyway, I might talk about that in the video. We should look at the first presented for value gap. Did that even get used? 930, 931, 932. Not really, in all honesty, not really. I really like the 30-second change in state here to go run these highs. I think that was a pretty simple trade. That was nice. I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be back. Oh, wow. Someone showed up. No doubt. I hope you had a good gym session today. Yeah, bro, I had a good gym session. I had a gym session early in the morning. No doubt. You're funny. Yeah, so I'm actually starting to take my gym sessions more seriously now, actually. I feel like the last couple months I've been slacking with the gym, and it's getting to the point where I'm like I feel like you just gotta execute everything correctly every single day, and so I can't slack off in the gym. I can't slack off anywhere because I just obviously I gotta work harder. There's no other explanation. I gotta work harder. It's really hard though. It's really hard, but I go to the gym before trading, so I'm kind of crazy. So I kind of want to look on Twitter because I'm gonna try and make this market recap kind of good today. I'm gonna talk about Dodgy's indicator. I'm gonna talk about a few things. Okay, that's not it. So. Anyone post any trades? I'll probably review TGR's trade. Hey, we could review Max's trade. This was a very simple trade. Okay, we could look at this later. Looks like ICT took this. When was this?
Version if everybody got.
TGR was saying in his quick stream that the drawn liquidity are the lows on ES, equal lows. As of right now, I'd have to look, dude. I don't know right now, but it's very possible. Okay, what in the world is this trade?
Looks just dabbling here today. Let's see, we have a inversion if everybody got. There.
Seems like to me like an IFG Jan entry where you get the inversion, then you enter on a retest.
And we're looking at that old.
But that's just how I would see it. I don't know how he sees it.
Right there.
When was this? It's 11 a.m. I kind of want to look at that. Oh, yeah. Yup. Yeah, that was what? That was obvious. Dang, bro. Everyone's catching the good trades. So, this is the trade ICT took. We'll review this one for sure. This was nice. You guys see why this is nice, right? We actually had time to generate liquidity here. So we'll review this trade ICT took, but I mean this is a nice trade right here. We had time to generate liquidity. It's pretty simple, right? Yeah, it is really simple. Yeah, there's no reason not to like dodgy strat. So let me show you guys. So we basically he actually entered right here and then he pyramided here because this is the Jan entry, right? Look. Initial entry.
Just
He entered on
dabbling
this
here
initial
today.
entry,
Let's see how we inversion fair value got.
and I think
Old
he pyramided.
map.
Maybe. I actually don't know. I don't know if he did actually now that I think about it. But anyway, right? We have very clear AMD. Let's see if there was SMT at the highs. Yeah, we have SMT with YM. So we actually we actually have SMT with ES too. Oh, very subtle. Very subtle. Oh my gosh. Check this out. Right? Boom. Boom. I like the SMTs with ES the most. So we have SMT here. So what is this, guys? Phoenix model at the high, right? This is Phoenix. I am making them two separate kinds of Phoenix. I'm going to call them Phoenix Type A and Phoenix Type B. Phoenix Type B is when the SMT is already created. So, for instance, this is the SMT, and then we tap the rejection block of the already created SMT. So, yeah, this is actually really nice. SMT here, low resistance lows. Phoenix, so Phoenix Type B. So, I like that. And we probably went above the true open. Where's the true open for this cycle? Let's see. $10.52. So 10.52. So this was the entry. 10.36. Yeah, we're definitely above 10.36. Can you say what Phoenix in 2022 model is? Yeah, for sure. I have a couple videos explaining it, but I'll definitely explain it for you, bro. So Phoenix is anytime you have SMT with a rejection block and it fits in with AMD. So, for instance, here's accumulation. So, we have SMT, we have a rejection block. So, I'll go over the ICD trade next after this, but first let's look at the Phoenix model, right? So this is Phoenix Type B because we have an SMT that had already been created, and then we tap the rejection block after we'd already created the SMT. So accumulation, manipulation, you basically enter as a soup, stop above the rejection block. So basically look for SMT with the rejection block, enter at the rejection block, and then you could have targeted there or something like that. Wow, that's 14R. That's crazy. So this is Phoenix Type B. So at 10:48, this is on the 1 minute. I think that happened on BTC and ETH today, bruh. Really? That's awesome. That's really cool. Okay, next we're going to look at... So we go off the rejection block. And then we get an inversion. And the 2022 model, I have a video that explains 2022 model. But basically, it's liquidity sweep breaker structure for value gap. But watch that video. I explain it best in that video. If you really want me to explain it later, I can. But I'm just going to keep backtesting for now. Unless you really want me to. If you really want me to explain it, let me know. But, dude, this is just clean, right? I don't trust that inversion, but once we get this closure, I trust it. This is the trade ICT took, right? And, yeah, sweep into the rejection block. So what is this? So this is manipulation, accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. Once again, it's all AMD, and it's not easy to see that, but so accumulation, manipulation into the rejection blocks, sweeping out these highs, and then LRLR here that had generated. So all this is LRLR, boom, and then we go lower. It expands this lower. So this inversion is really nice. This is the trade ICT took. Pretty sure. Could I be wrong? Maybe. I think this is what it took, but could be wrong. I'd go stop above that. And then you could project out this or this. Either one, honestly. Maybe project this one out. So if you project this out, we do go for projections. This was its own. This was a change in state. This was a 2022 model. Dang, bro. Yeah, so I'd measure this out and then yeah, maybe just target I don't even know, like you just scale out. You would just scale out, I guess. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's just be realistic. I would probably take profit there. I'm being completely honest. You know what? Let's just show the whole thing. So let's say you did take profit at the lows here, the fourth projection. Then that would hit. That would hit 2R. Dang. And then yeah, LRLR. Once again, I gotta work on seeing these live. It's not easy. So we probably also had a 15-minute gap and then a 1-minute change in state. But yeah, this is the trade ICT took. 1057. IPG on the 1 minute, right? Yep. On the 1 minute. And ICT took this. So I will talk about that. So TGR took this one, this inversion to the downside. I was looking for shorts too. We had this 5-minute breaker. Should we look at TGR's trade? Maybe. Yeah, probably. Let's look at TGR's trade. It's a valuable learning experience. And then I will keep back testing. So the trade he took looks like it's the 5-minute IPG. Oh, this is the same. It was mostly just an IPG in general. I think he took it across time frames. Yeah, on this it showed in the 1 minute, but I mean it happened on the 5-minute. And then we consolidated. He was still in it this whole time, huh? Yeah, he was still in it this whole time. Yeah, I'm gonna make the video today. Is gonna be about Doji's indicator. So you can see we're generating low resistance liquidity, and then finally we continue down, and TGR's trade smacks TPs. Yeah, he got in early on the move. So we will talk about TGR in the video that I'm gonna make today. But TGR got in here. And why was this nice? Because it had a bearish S&T and it was delivering from this higher time frame breaker. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that trade from TGR was actually good. This trade is actually pretty good. I mean, when we break this gap here, we break that gap. So TGR trade, we'll mark this as TGR trade, right? We break this gap. Especially on the 5, it was the 5-minute one, right? We break this 5-minute gap here with SMT. We're probably gonna go lower. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty good. So it's all about waiting for something obvious. In all honesty, yeah, break of this 5-minute gap with SMT. Man, when you look at it like that, and then within this breaker, or / order block type of thing, yeah, maybe, you know what, I might just make the market recap. I feel like I've got enough to talk about. Yeah, because I want to keep back testing, but at some point you do have to I need to make the video so I don't keep going forever. Maybe I'll keep going for a little longer, but alright. So we will get into that later. Actually, you know what? Let's keep back testing. So as we do this back testing session, I'm just going to start saving things I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about TGR's trade. So I'm going to save this. Bruh. Hey, what up, Javier?
Then I'm
So yeah, we'll talk about TGR's trade. We're gonna talk about ICT's trade. I mean, from what I see, honestly, I can't really tell, but I think it was the inversion for value gap. So I'm gonna talk about this. So, and I do want to start talking about more trades like the community took, because I don't want to ever just get tunnel vision, honestly, ever. Hey, Cave is back. Yeah, we were totally right on the move. I just sucked on executing. I sucked in every way. I needed to wait for. I needed to wait for it to be obvious. The first trade I took was not obvious. The second trade I took, I I should have probably just held it. It's okay though. So what was this? Okay, Dodgy took. This was. Oh, this was after 11 a.m. It was after 11 a.m. We'll look at that. Where was that? So we sweep out the low. So the reason this is nice. Okay, I see why Dodgy liked this one. We sweep out the low. This. What time frame was this? The 1 minute? Say what? What? Oh, this? This is not. This is garbage, bro. I don't know. I'm not. Uh. Anyway, this is a reason to talk about Dodge's indicator. The indicator is really not bad, but yeah, I'll talk about it. Yeah, so it's this inversion right here. And you can see it probably alerted it. Maybe not with the settings I have though. We'll see. Oh. Why didn't the settings that I have alert it? Oh, it probably did. This is probably not showing up for yesterday. Remove losing setups? The heck? Don't remove the losing setups, bro. What? I was 50 points away from my 500 point target. Nice. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. That is genuinely crazy, Javier. Okay, I want to see if it would have alerted this. So now it's including losing setups, which is what it should have been doing this whole time. So now let's see if it was any good on the 5 minute. But hey, yeah. That one failed. This one worked. This one worked. This one worked. Like, it is genuinely better. So I'll talk about this. It's genuinely better, but it's also like, yeah, that worked. That worked. Even this weird thing worked, which is not obvious. This was nice, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like this inversion here. I'm gonna actually record this down because this was pretty obvious. I'm not gonna lie. I would take this this 2 minute because we have just a giant chunk of consolidation here. We swept out the low. Very simple idea here. We sweep the low, and then Tomorrow you're bullish? I'm gonna have to look. Dude, London session on Monday night to going into Tuesday morning, for some reason it always cooks. I wanna trade London so bad. I have a feeling it's gonna be good, but I'm probably not gonna do that. uh so yeah, this was nice. Low resistance highs. I like this. Pretty sure this was the setup TGR took. So yeah, I'll talk about Dodge's indicator. I think it is. It's better than it was, especially if you use these settings that I have. Honestly, maybe I should take these trades more, but I don't know. Yeah, I might have. Obviously, I have enough to make the market recap, but I don't know. I should probably just make the market recap. 11:26. IFG, 2 minute. Because I just want to make sure I get enough sleep. That's the thing. I'm worried I'm not going to get enough sleep if I keep going too much, so I got to end the stream at some point. Oh, yeah, the only other thing I wanted to look at was that this, at market open, this was a 30-second change in state to go run those low resistance highs out of this breaker. That was nice. I was thinking about taking that. Probably should have, but it's okay. So why did you not take those trades? The ones I've been outlining? Which ones? Not enough confluence? Because I wasn't on the chart. I mean... Oh, because it would have alerted me? Oh, you're saying because it would have alerted me? Because... I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been looking at it to take them. Probably should have. But I'm not taking trades if I can't take them within my live trading window. Like, if I took the trade, I don't even know how to explain it. If I'm out of trades for the day, I can't keep trading, even if Dodgy Indicator alerts it. That's just how I'm doing it. Yeah, so this was really obvious. I really, really like this, and there's essentially no drawdown either. So right at market open, we get this boom, boom, and then it's very obvious that we're gonna go higher. So I would even consider entering right there, or even here, dude. The one, the indicator alert, yeah, just because I was done trading for the day. That's the only reason, because I had to be. Yeah, when you look at it like this was obvious. Boom. 30-second change in state. And then we just go run all of it. We run all of it. So yeah, I really like this. Very clean trade. You can go tight. You can go tight on the stop loss with this one. And then all this is low resistant. Bang. Then we go run up to those highs. That is clean. That is clean. But once again, you have to be on the chart at that exact time. So Not necessarily easy to do, but that's how I take it. No drawdown. No drawdown. Alright, I might make the market recap. I really need to. Yeah, flow state close, 5-minute breaker, 30-second. Okay, we have enough to make the market recap, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And so I'm gonna end the stream. Wait, where was the breaker? This thing. So this up close candle, drag that over, push down into it, 30-second change of state. So, alright. Trading is hard. Why is trading gotta be so hard? Like, it's not hard, but it is hard. It's not hard in the sense, like, if you can just be on the chart when the opportunity happens and you're aware that it's an opportunity, oh, then it's easy. Then it's a piece of cake. But, yeah. Is that also a Judas swing at the open? Yes. Yes, that's a Judas swing. Pretty textbook one. Okay, oh yeah, I was gonna see how many people are watching and then I'm in the stream, so. And then I'll make the market recap. Yeah, today's market recap is gonna be about Dodgy's indicator, so. Alright. Yeah, 3 people watching. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try and be more consistent. I'm gonna try my absolute best. I'm gonna do everything in my power to be able to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching.